Because not everything is about your friggin' fatness. I was such an annoying fat person. Sometimes people don't like you because you're annoying and you're a pain in the bum. Is anyone buying that? Because I'm not. Hey guys, it's Jermaine and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Jermaine. I make videos about the fat acceptance, fat liberation, body positive movement. I share with you guys my thoughts on this community and also how they influenced my life back when I was obese myself. I believed in a lot of their teachings, and then along the way I changed my life, had an epiphany, I lost a bunch of weight, and now I'm here making videos exposing the fat acceptance movement. So if you're into this kind of content, you'd like to hear my take on stuff, then you might want to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And if you're returning to my channel, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being a part of my little family here on YouTube. I love you guys and appreciate you so freaking much.
That is actually very cool because you get to find out who people are very, very quickly. You find out if people are assholes and horrible people very quickly and very easily. No more are there moments of like, oh, I didn't know they were weird. I didn't know like they were mean. I didn't know they were gonna like be so judgy. We know. Immediately we know. Sure, there are outliers who obviously slip through and all that, but fat phobia is such a hard thing to unlearn for so many people, even if they've unlearned other things, that it really shows you the amount of work that people have put into being compassionate, respectful, informed human beings. And it shows you right off the bat who is worth your time, because people don't respect fat people enough to pretend with them. And they don't respect fat people enough to even give them the time of day in the first place. So you learn very, very quickly the type of person someone is because they treat you pretty immediately, in most cases, how they see you.
Is it just me, or do fat acceptance blame every bad experience or encounter that they have with people as people being mean to them just because they're fat? I cannot be the only one who's heard this tons of times. There are tons of videos out there where somebody had a bad experience with a person and it's always because they're fat. They believe that it's always because they're fat. I mean, Amberlynn Reid goes on this rant all the time about how she gets a lot of hate, not because of any of the lies she tells, not because of any of the horrible things she does or says. It is solely because she's fat. She believes that people get away with things better and easier when they're not fat, and the only reason that she's being attacked is because she's fat. And then you have people who believe that just every bad experience they have, people not giving them opportunities, people being mean to them, people ignoring them, all of it is because they're fat. Now, do I believe that people who are attractive get away with more things compared to people who are unattractive? Absolutely. I completely agree. But that doesn't mean every bad experience that you have as a fat person is attributed to you being fat. Because I'm sorry, but do you really mean to tell me your self-entitlement, your personality, your self-righteousness, your narcissism, all of that has nothing to do at all with why people sometimes may not like you very much? Like, you're just a delight to be around. You contribute a lot to society. You care about things. You care about people. You're a wonderful and amazing person, and people just are mean to you because you're fat. Is anyone buying that? Because I'm not. I feel like in this era, a fat person could take up way too much space, be in other people's space, be an inconvenience to people, be a real nuisance to society, but still somehow come out of it as a victim. So when I was really overweight, I used to rule people out before anyone can do anything to hurt me because I was so insecure. Biggest thing that was making me feel so insecure was my body weight, was my size, the shape of my body, how I looked just waddling around. So automatically, I felt like I was at a disadvantage, and therefore I'm a victim because I'm at a disadvantage. I do not look as attractive as someone else, or I'm not able to do certain things that someone smaller than me could do, or look a certain way that someone smaller than me could look, or shop at certain places that someone smaller than me could. And so all of this automatically made me feel like a victim. I felt like I was at a disadvantage. Because I looked at myself as a victim, because I was so insecure, I genuinely believed that anyone who treated me badly, or any bad experience that I got, or if someone looked at me funny, or if someone didn't like me or want me to be in their team or in their group, it was automatically because I was fat. That's what I thought. In actuality, to be super honest, I was such an annoying fat person. I used to be this really lazy bum of a person, and that became sort of my personality. I would ask my sister or my mom or people around me to do stuff for me, or like, hey, can you get me this? Can you grab me that? As you're walking back here, could you please get me this? Like, I was just like this really lazy, and that was kind of like my personality. I was actually really lazy, but then at the same time, I kind of got too comfortable in being that personality of like, you know what, yeah, I'm fat and I'm lazy, and so what. At my workplace, we used to have these office chairs, the rolling office chairs, right, with tires, and I used to roll around to get stuff done instead of walking with my 2 feet. If I needed to approach someone, I would roll. And like sometimes I would hold on to other people's chair and like pull myself to move. And like people would just be like, oh my god, Jermaine, can you just stand up and go there? Like, are you seriously this lazy? When I was at work, I would never volunteer to go and get lunch. So sometimes like in my workplace, everybody had different lunch break time because I worked in a call center. And so I would always, like, if someone else was going out to get lunch, I would always place my order with them. If I had like an earlier lunchtime, I was never the person to go out and grab food for anybody or buy food for anyone, but I was always the one asking people to buy food for me. People would just laugh and roll their eyes at me, but deep down, they were annoyed. There were times my sister would give me a piece of her mind and be like, you really need to stop being a bum and you really need to do things for yourself. So I cannot blame every hate that I got on me just being fat, because it was also my personality. If I was that fat person who was like always offering to help my colleagues out, who was always like being such a bundle of joy, I was just a grumpy fat person. Like, I would always just have this face where like, just don't talk to me. But it was like a defense thing. I would be like, just don't talk to me. I would have this grumpy face. But I was doing it more so because let me push people away before people can push me away. But all of that together, it's just a put off. It's off-putting. That personality is off-putting. So it had nothing to do with my size. I was an off-putting person. People didn't want to be around me because I was just like, because my energy, like, no one wants to be around that. A lazy bum who's all grumpy and has an RBF. Like, no one wants to be around that. No one's inviting you to their parties. No one's inviting you to hang out with them. It wasn't easy for me to make friends. Like, my friends were only the people that I always knew in church that I grew up with. Even my colleagues were people that I made friends with over 4 years of being in that company. And it was also kind of because my sister, she worked in the same place and she's this very friendly person. So people kind of like hopped on being her friend, and then they got to know me. I don't know if you notice, but the majority of fat people, especially fat young people, they're not a delight to be around, especially fat acceptance fat people.
When people are fat phobic on this platform, you should be uncomfortable. You should be uncomfortable.
Fat acceptance fat people are off-putting, and I think majority of it has something to do with how unhappy you are on the inside. I don't believe that morbidly obese people and obese people are genuinely happy on the inside. They're miserable people, and miserable people put out a horrible energy. So obviously, if I am miserable on the inside, I am going to exude a bum personality, and a person like that is not fun to be around. In my experience, in my personal experience, besides myself, 90% of fat people, when I say fat, I don't mean like slightly chubby, I mean like fat, big, obese, 90% of the time, these fat people really prove the point, really prove the whole fat people are lazy point. In my apartment building, there's a supermarket downstairs, and I sometimes go there to get some of my groceries. Among the staffs that work the counter, there are 2 morbidly obese people that work there. One is a guy and one is a girl. The male employee I have not had any bad experience with, but the female employee, every time I interact with her, I really feel like laughing on the inside because she proves the point. Every time I ask her, or even my mom, sometimes my mom comes with me, and if my mom were to encounter her, if my mom asks her like, hey, where is a certain item, she would just shrug. She would just be like, I don't know. But the regular size employees, if we ask them something, they would find us a staff who can help guide us where to go get the item. So usually I would carry the basket when I go and buy my groceries. And so at the counter, usually you put out your items, the worker, the employee at the counter takes that basket and puts it under the counter or put it away, right? This woman would ask me to go put the basket back from where I took it, like walk to the entrance of the supermarket where I took the basket, go put it back there. I do it because I don't want to be that like, excuse me, who do you think you are asking me to, like, I don't want to be that person, so I just quietly do it, but like I smirk as I do it because it is so, like, you are really proving the point that fat people are lazy. Fat people don't want to go the extra mile or do things for people.
I feel like when you're fat, you're not allowed to say like that you're lazy or like you can't be lazy. This really upsets me because I am lazy. Like, I'm not fat because I'm lazy or lazy because I'm fat. I just like to sit and rot and fucking watch TikTok. Like, is that hard?
Like, it's so hard. It's so hard to be on your side when you do this kind of stuff. I'm sorry, but you make it hard to be likable. 90% of the time, if people are unpleasant to you as a fat person, could be because you are an unpleasant person. You're an annoying person. You're a pain in the butt. Just think about it. If what you're saying is true, right? People don't like you just because of the size of your body, then there are a lot of famous fat people who would not have been given the opportunities that they're given just because of their size, right? I mean, Adele wouldn't be famous. I mean, Adele is fat and she's famous and tons of people love her. I can name the list of fat singers. There's so many fat famous singers that people love. How about actresses? Comedians, like there are so many fat people that people love. Talk show hosts, Lisa McCartney, Rebel Wilson, you got DJ Khaled, like all these people are big. Jonah Hill, like they were all big. If it's true that people don't like fat people, if it's true that people don't like fat people just because they're fat and it has nothing to do with their attitude and their personality, then we wouldn't have all these people. All these people wouldn't be famous. Lizzo, before she became controversial, before she became all fat acceptance promoting obesity person, people liked her as an artist. She was contributing something. She was making music that people enjoyed. People liked listening to. People liked dancing to. This was before her art became about her body. Her art was art. So can we just take some accountability? Because not everything is about your friggin' fatness. Sometimes people don't like you because you're annoying and you're a pain in the bum. So yes, that's it for this video. That's my take on why people sometimes don't like fat people. It's your personality, ma'am. Let me know what you guys think about this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. The links are in the description box below. And I'll see you guys in my next video.